What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, and we are back with another midday stream here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, to hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you're here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. Or if you don't get the notification over here, make sure to join the Discord. I actually have it pinned right there at the top. Just click the join button and you will be able to get in. You will definitely have to also have the Discord app in order to be in the Discord as well. Y'all see the title. Y'all already know why we're here. I could have did this live yesterday, but unfortunately I could not actually because I was unavailable at a time when I could have done it. So here we are today because I had a whole nother live that I was going to do today, and it wasn't even going to be a midday live. It was going to be at 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna put that live that I had planned for today. I'm gonna put that one for tomorrow, and that'll be at 6. But let me see, who do we have here so far in the chat? We got KG is in the chat. He dropped in at 7:09 a.m. We got Raging Woody, Reparations Nation, Andre Edwards, Derry B, Wallow J, Miss Nisi, Bills fan 1970, Scoop 2003, Savion, Yolanda, Dark Titan, Church, Valiza, Jane Smith, LOM, I already said Andre, Mr. J. Rokomuro, J. Cage, Derek Parker, Cosma, Kingdom of Garvin, Claiborne, DSB, Shamika, the My Voice Channel, DSB, Lions Den, Miss Renee, D Money, JJ, and Malcolm so far in the chat. Shout out to each and every person that is in here. But yeah, we all saw it coming. And it's of no shock or surprise. But after what happened last week, I think people kind of figured out what was going to happen. So, as you know, last week, the jury in the Daniel Penny trial, they deadlocked on the manslaughter, the second-degree manslaughter charge. And then it was eventually dismissed by the judge. And when that happened, it was like, oh, well, everything else is probably going to go down here from here. And then they went and brought up the criminally negligent one to see, okay, maybe we can get him on that. Jury came back yesterday and found him not guilty. So Daniel Penny is practically a free man. But let's just get this one thing straight. Let's get this clear. Just because he walked away scot-free from this doesn't mean that he didn't do what he did. Of course, you know, the usual suspects are going to take that as, oh, he's free, just trust the system and all this, that, and the third. Like I said, they wanted this win so bad because they've been catching L's so much. And also shout out to KG and Afro Elite because they did lives yesterday talking about this. Professor Black Truth's Moment of Truth this morning was also about this. And I'm sure there's going to be some other people that are going to talk about this. I think Tariq actually has a premiere going on at the same time as this live, talking about this as well. But I'm going to go ahead and play this almost 2-minute video from NBC News that's just talking about him being found not guilty.
It is a case that has provoked very strong feelings and raised tough questions. But after 5 days of deliberations, this jury of 7 women and 5 men finally reached consensus.
A jury in Manhattan finding Daniel Penny not guilty today, clearing the Marine veteran of any criminal wrongdoing for putting a man in this fatal chokehold on the subway last year. Some in the courtroom erupting in anger, others in relief, as crowds of demonstrators gathered outside reflecting the deep divisions the case has sparked. Penny's defenders casting the 26-year-old as a folk hero for protecting other subway riders who described Jordan Neely's behavior that day as frightening and threatening.
The whole train was freaked out.
While others view Neely's death as an indictment of a broken mental health system that failed to protect a vulnerable 30-year-old man, a former Michael Jackson impersonator experiencing homelessness.
I just want to say, I miss my son. It hurts.
This video of Penny putting Neely in a chokehold for 6 minutes going viral. His defense team had argued at trial Penny didn't cause Neely's death, placing blame instead on a genetic condition, his struggles with mental illness and alleged drug use.
when you have someone repeatedly going through that system, that's a signature of failure.
The judge tossed out the top charge of manslaughter on Friday and sent jurors home after they said they were hopelessly deadlocked, returning today to deliberate for just a few hours on the lesser charge of criminally negligent homicide. The DA's office saying in a statement, quote, "The jury has now spoken. We respect their verdict." Laura Jarrett, NBC News, New York.
Okay, so y'all just heard that right there. I think the thing that gets me, and y'all have heard me say this numerous times, you're going to hear me say it now in case you haven't heard me say it before, is the insulting of my intelligence is one of my top pet peeves. When you tell me something that you know or that you think I don't know or how to decipher because you think you might go over my head, that is a sure way to piss me off. Where did they insult my intelligence? Is them saying that he died from mental illness, a genetic disorder, or whatever it is they said there. Really? After they just showed twice in this video of this man being in that chokehold for numerous amount of minutes. Remember, they did the same thing, or they tried to do the same thing with George Floyd. There's his Derek Chauvin supporters are still on that kick that that George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose. They tried to kind of do the same thing with Eric Garner. Remember, Eric Garner, he was put into that chokehold by Daniel Pantaleo many years ago. Well, I don't want to say many years ago because it wasn't that long ago, but several years ago. And they tried to do the same exact thing. But like KG has stated numerous times, and I've stated, they would have wanted to hope that Daniel Penny was found guilty. But now that he hasn't, and he's a quote unquote free man, they have now opened up Pandora's box that's not going to go well for them. But you try telling them that and they'll think that we're saying something else. But I'm like, no, it don't even necessarily have to come from us. It's going to come from entities that you think is protecting you. But see, they think this is a win. Because see, they only see this as a surface level thing. And we all saw what they, and we're going to go over through some of the posts that and responses that I received on X yesterday. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I always tell people, let them talk long enough and they will always reveal who they are. So that was that. I'm not even going to read the article. I'm going to just go on to the next thing. And this one right here was very interesting. Now look at this right here, and shout out. And when I saw this, I sent this to KG, and he talked about this yesterday on his live. Look at this right here. It's on Yahoo News, but it came from the Independent. Congressman plans to give Daniel Penny Congressional Gold Medal for heroism in 2023 subway choking. So it wasn't enough they already deemed this man a hero per se, but they're also about to give this man a whole medal out here. Now, look at the date. Friday, December 6, 2024. This was before yesterday when the verdict came out that he was not guilty. On Friday, all it was a deadlock. That's not a verdict. So they already had this planned. It makes you wonder also if he was found guilty, would they have still given him this medal? Probably so. But look at the title that I put on the thumbnail. This is who they call them. They're called their heroes. An Arizona congressman plans to award the Congressional Medal, Congress's highest civilian honor, to Daniel Penny, a 26-year-old student currently on trial in New York on negligent homicide charges for choking a homeless man on a subway train in 2023. Just reading that doesn't even sound right. Let me read that again. An Arizona congressman plans to award a Congressional Gold Medal, Congress's highest civilian honor, to Daniel Penny, currently on trial in New York on negligent homicide charges for choking a homeless man on a subway train last year. How does that even read like that and you're calling someone a hero? That doesn't even sound like something heroic. Daniel Penny's actions exemplify what it means to stand against the grain, to do right in a world that rewards moral cowardice, Representative Eli Crane, Republican of Arizona, told Fox News. Our system of justice is fiercely corrupt, allowing degenerates to steamroll our laws and our sense of security while punishing the righteous, Crane, a former Navy SEAL, added. Mr. Penny bravely stood in the gap to defy this corrupt system to protect his fellow Americans. They made it seem like Jordan Neely was some kind of a terrorist. Like, look, listen to how this is reading. Now, this is an actual quote coming from this congressman. The way he's framing it, you would think that Jordan Neely was on the America's Most Wanted list. I'm immensely proud to introduce this resolution to award him with the Congressional Gold Medal to recognize his heroism. And all he had to do was take out a homeless black man on a train. And that's what is going to get Daniel Penny a medal. Draft text of the resolution claims Penny protected women and children of the city of New York from violence on May 1st, 2023, and alleges that throughout President Biden's term as president, local governments across various cities and states failed to adequately protect residents and their property from violent criminals. Penny is facing a criminal trial in New York over the 2023 incident in which he held street performer Jordan Neely, age 30, in a chokehold for nearly 6 minutes after the homeless man yelled threateningly at passengers on a Manhattan subway car. This is how you know many of them have never been on the subway or the metro before. Prosecutors allege Penny unnecessarily used lethal force that killed Neely, while the defense argues Penny's actions were justified and outside factors could explain Neely's death following the chokehold. After juries spent nearly a week in deliberation without reaching a verdict, prosecutors dismissed a more serious charge of a second-degree manslaughter on Friday. Penny's actions have proven strongly divisive. Critics accuse the Marine Corps veteran of being a vigilante who took things too far. New York City public advocate Jermaine Williams previously told The Independent the public attention around the case had created a narrative that devalues the life of a black homeless man with mental health challenges and encourages an attitude of dehumanization of New Yorkers in greatest need. Both conservatives and Democratic New York City Mayor Eric Adams have praised Penny. We're now on the subway where we're hearing someone talking about hurting people and killing people, Adams said on a radio show in November. You have someone, Penny, on that subway who was responding, doing what we should have done as a city, aka the Biden of Brooklyn, said that. Millions of dollars were raised for Penny's legal defense fund through Give Send Go, a crowdfunding platform popular for right-wing causes. That should tell you right there who is like literally carrying the water for Daniel Penny. Influencers and politicians hail Penny as a veritable subway Superman, an ordinary citizen taking back the streets in an unsafe Democrat-led city. Remember, in one post that I read on the last time I talked about this, they compared what was going on that day with being in a modern day Gotham. So now they're calling Daniel Penny a subway Superman. So we about to just go through all the DC characters. Now, before I go ahead and go into the next, well, actually, that's all the articles. Everything else is more visual. So let me stop sharing this right quick and show y'all this. And shout out to Afro, because he actually showed this on his live last night. And if y'all was in Afro's live last night, I had asked him to send me this. The video y'all about to see is Daniel Penny and his attorneys at a bar in New York having a beer and celebrating after the verdict.
How you feeling?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
What's up?
We're
Come together.
Yeah.
How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry? No, we think that.
I don't mean to pause it, but the thing is, like, I couldn't express how I felt like when I was in Afro's live last night, because that's his stream and not mine. But I'm a good reader of body language. Daniel Penny knows he's guilty of what he did. It's written all over his face. He's forcing that smile. He's trying to keep up in an appearance. And look at how he looked when he walked away and he was guided out of it right as that question was being asked. That's guilt and shame right there.
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry?
Look at how he looked, and just when the guy said, "Did you think it was going to happen?" and he turned around and walked away. Because that question wasn't directed at just one person. It was directed at both of them. More so Daniel Penny.
No, we think that this should have happened probably on day one, but the point thing is it happened. So we can't control the timing of it, but we can certainly savor the outcome.
And why do you think it was not guilty?
That's good.
Look at that. The guy asks, "Why do you think it's not guilty?" And he said, "Asked him," and they start laughing. Now watch this response.
That's that guy.
Well, he's not guilty on a few different reasons. Because his actions were justified. He was trying to help people on that train, and he did. And number two, he's not responsible for the death because the death was caused by a lot of other factors that we tried to present with a lot of clarity, such as the K2 abuse and the sickle cell, the sickling.
K2 sickle cell. Again, this is the same thing that a lot of Derek Chauvin supporters keep hammering or try to knock into our heads, but it's a failed mission when it comes to Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd. That's why I kept telling y'all George Floyd's name kept popping up every single time something like this happened. I keep telling you also, they needed this win because they were catching so many L's, big L's and small L's, and even ones in between. They could not afford to take another L. Yeah, the guy said K2 and sickle cell.
Crisis and cardiac issues, not to mention the paranoid schizophrenia, which only added to that impact. So I'm just glad that the jury was able to truly evaluate that as a potential cause of death. And that,
y'all, we are living in the upside down, just like on that show Stranger Things, for those of you familiar with the show. So K2, which is an opioid, sickle cell, mental health issues, all of that contributed to the death of this man. Not the 6-minute chokehold. Like I tell you, even on camera, when something is on camera, if they wanted to flip it and go another way, they will try to convince you to the best of their abilities that it's not true. That we did not see what we saw. Again, they did the same thing back in 2020. It wasn't the knee to the neck that killed George Floyd. It was the fentanyl. He was going to die anyway. That's what they be saying. That's what they said then. That's what they're still saying now. They're still floating around that, as far as I'm concerned, photoshopped autopsy saying, look, it says it right here. He had this in the system. Man. Now let me show you this next video. Now, this is another video that Afro showed on his stream last night, but I was going to show it on mine, but he went live last night and he showed it before I did. But for those who missed it, I want to show y'all this, and we're going to add this person to the buffoonery list. Watch this here.
We need some black vigilantes.
No, we don't.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us? Right. I'm tired.
Notice it seems like a huge part of what he's saying is about skin color. They want to jump up. Who's they? And they want to choke us. Who is us? They is this color. Us is this color. I can't believe some of us take this serious. This is not a racial issue. There was more than one race of people helping to restrain him. The reason this happened is because a man came on the subway was acting menacing, loud, and threatening to the people on the subway to the point where some of them felt they needed to take matters into their own hands to protect themselves and the people around them. The man that was acting threatening happened to be this color. The main individual restraining him happened to be this color. But that doesn't mean this is about race. And us making this about race does nothing but cause division. They didn't get up and choke us. We weren't on the train threatening and scaring people. They did that to him because he was acting a certain way. And there's no reason for me to get offended on that simply because I had the same skin color as that guy. This is what I'm saying. We have this unrelenting loyalty to being black, and we root everything in our skin color. So many of us. And it's not a beneficial mindset. It really makes you look dumb in many cases because logic and reason go out the window when you have this unrelenting loyalty to being black.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.
What did you say, nigga?
Now, I've heard of this dude before, the one doing most of the talking, because I think KG has talked about this dude several times, or a few times at least. I don't want to say several. A few times on his channel. The thing that really stuck out to me was when he said way too many black people have an unrelenting loyalty to being black. He told me in that one sentence who his loyalty aligns with. Right there, he told me exactly who and where his loyalty lies. And what he feels we should align ourselves with. He might as well have gone out and said, well, if you are, well, black people, if you just did this and just did that, then they wouldn't treat you like this and treat you like that. I can't stand when people say that. I really can't stand when other black people say it. I don't know why or where this comes from, because you're trying to make it seem like we're the most dangerous people walking the face of the earth. We know Candace said that a few years ago on Tucker Carlson. That doesn't make it true, though. But we know when you want to get when you want to get your butter biscuits sprayed with a little bit of or powdered with a little bit of extra butter dust. But like I said, that part right there is what really got me when he said black people have an unrelenting loyalty to being black. Then who are we supposed to be loyal to then, if not to ourselves? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If he was to say that in front of my face, I would ask him straight out, if we don't have an unrelenting loyalty to ourselves, then who do we have loyalty to? Because every other group has an unrelenting loyalty to themselves before anybody else. So what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to all act like you? And that's what leads me into this. Let me remove this from the screen. So look at this right here, y'all. So I took some screenshots, and these are some responses. So KG had posted this up. That's how I got this video. And he posted it up, and I responded. I gave two responses. One of them was what I just basically asked. If we don't have an I asked, did this guy actually say that black people have an unrelenting loyalty to themselves or to being black? I asked that. As I scrolled down, I came across three responses, and we're going to go through all three of them. So the first one was this one you see on your screen. Someone said, and he's completely right. Black people are mourning Neely's death like he was some innocent bystander minding his own business only because he's black. You are literally siding with the violent criminal that assaults old people and tried to kidnap a child just because he's black. These are the same people that said that Ashley Babbitt was innocent and that Michael Byrd is a murderer. The same exact people. Next comment. Keep being black first instead of American first, and you will never be accepted by Americans. Let me translate that for you. Keep putting your people first and not white people, and you will never be accepted by white people. There's your translation. That's this G-Dog person. It's funny he calls himself G-Dog, but he has a picture. He's white, but he calls himself G-Dog. Wow. And what that person said in the video is exactly the type of black person they like. I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all have never seen the movie Disturbing Behavior, y'all really need to watch that and understand that the stuff that's happening in that movie is exactly how they want black people to all act. And shout out to Samuel for the 5. He said, F Jeffrey Mead. And by the way, if y'all don't know who Jeffrey Mead is, that's the black guy in the video that was talking. He said, like Tatum before him, another failed college football player that didn't get drafted into the NFL and now grifting for pennies. The guys at the weed. Well, first of all, thanks for the contribution. Second, I didn't know he played football, but that's neither here nor there. I really don't care. And then we have this last one. Yeah, sticking up for a drug addict criminal just because he's black makes you people look almost remedial. The man kidnapped a 7-year-old. Where are they getting this from? And then they write down and they go through his little history. F. Jordan Neely, he was an unhinged POS. Jordan Neely had been arrested at least 42 times for assault. Matter of fact, at the time of his death, Neely had an active warrant for assault. Other crimes include, in August 2015, arrested for trying to kidnap a 7-year-old girl, and in June 2019, arrested for punching a 64-year-old woman. That part. But I found to be very interesting, though, is that this was not the only response that I put up on KG's post. This was the first one that I made, but I made another one shortly after it. And I want y'all to pay attention to something here. So, again, the post that you read with the responses was under the same post Kid Gravity had posted up on his X account. But I also left another response after I sent that one, literally maybe a minute later. So they're real close as far as them being posted. And this is what I said. I also find it interesting because wasn't PC just saying how the trial of Daniel Penny was, quote, anti-white? He can miss me with that. And that was me responding to Jeffrey Mead when they were talking about making everything about race. They did do that. They kept saying it's anti-white. I can't tell you how many times I saw it. They said it was anti-white to even put him on trial. And then someone responded to me and said, that's what I thought too. The entire time they've been claiming to somehow be victims of the same system they created to victimize others. And I didn't realize how far in I was zoomed in. So I was zoomed at 250%. But yeah. Jonathan said, where's the proof of him doing it? Good question. Where is that? But you know what? When it comes to them, they don't need proof. They just have to say it enough times for themselves to believe it and hope some other gullible person believes it as well. So as you can see, even in death, Jordan Neely is going to be attacked, much like a lot of the other black people that fell before him. One thing I will say, though, when I was looking under one of them posts, is there is one thing that PC did get correct as it pertains to Daniel Penny, is they say he's going to have to leave out of the city, possibly even the state. That's probably the most honest thing they said the entire time while this trial was going on. Shout out to the My Voice channel for the $2.99. He said the Dub S trolls are heavy in my comments on next. Of course they are. They're gonna be like that for the next couple days. But anyway, y'all know what time it is. I'm gonna drop this link right here in the chat. If anybody would like to come up and speak to this, feel free to go right on ahead. Cosmo said attacking dead black men exudes dub as cowardice even more. Oh, definitely. They get an enjoyment out of that. I can't tell you how many comments I saw under various posts saying, I'm glad Jordan Neely is dead, or he got what he deserved. I mean, they're talking about it as if this guy did something personally to them. As if they go back, years and they had a personal feud for so long. I mean, they came in red hot with their vitriol to this man that they don't even know. But like I said, just keep in mind of how they've been acting with this situation here, even dating back to when it first happened. Because when it happens to them, and it will, whether it gets reported on or not is another story, we're going to have the same I don't care attitude as well. I've been had it. Wallow, what's going on?
What's going on, Torian? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Like KG said, they got what they wanted. Now they about to suffer the same damn consequences. Boy, it make no damn sense. But yeah, it's about to get real vigilante up here. I guess that's like they want to say, because you let that man get off like that, and then all of a sudden, oh, you think it's gonna be? Oh, we supposed to be scared of you? Ain't nobody scared of y'all. Ain't nobody, especially in New York. Like KG said, don't white folks ain't about to do shit in New York. Especially well down here, it's different down here because they could not have that happen down here. God knows, you know how these folks down here in the South they are. But Miss Renee, I'm gonna address your comment about him having a white girlfriend. He that on that. What's that boy name that you showed?
Who?
The guy that was talking about we don't need to be lowered out on.
Jeffrey Mead.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a nickname for him. My nickname for him is gonna be Fruity Vibes, because Miss Renee, he can't have no white girlfriend. He too fruity for that. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but no, he ain't black enough to have a white girlfriend. I'm gonna say that, but yeah, it's gonna be shit about to go down. But I'm gonna quote what KG said. I don't know if KG's in the chat or not. Now they don't got an excuse, and people that they watch KG know what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is, they don't found an excuse now to put the military on his people, and all they got to do is use Daniel Penny as an excuse. And I'm gonna land my plane there. B1.
No, Jesse. No, Jeffrey Mead, not Jeffrey Reed. Jeffrey Mead. Shout out to Wallow for coming up. Next up, we got True Royal. What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, this is not surprising to me. I feel like the prosecution, the way they orchestrated, when we are able to predict what the enemy is going to do, this is their system, and so I feel bad for the family, but I don't get myself all worked up and angry because the system is so predictable. They have orchestrated things to work in their favor, and but then in this, because we're like truly in a war, and in battles, you don't supposed to reveal everything, but the enemy reveals everything. They want to win at all costs, and then the very system that they have created, we are actually watching Babylon fall before our eyes. Then their system has become a weight on them. It's not a weight on us, because we already know what's going to happen before it happened. So they so busy trying to keep everything intact. And then another thing I want to add is, when it comes to the enemy, they're never satisfied. So eventually this will fade, and then they want they got to have a taste of blood. It's always a continuous thing. And they said in the last days the enemy would eat his own. So once it's like your thirst can never be quenched. And we seen examples of this, like when they had the shutdown and they were amongst themselves, domestic violence go up, they attacking their children, the divorce rate go up. And I said, because I fully believe that they're not truly human. I said it was like having caged animals within their own households. So this is predictable. This is your system. You want to win at all costs. Okay. We know what y'all on. Okay, you have won the so-called war, but we continue to win the battle because you're predictable. You're telegraphing all your moves. Even Trump is doing it. He's telling everybody what he wants to do before he even executed. So we already know how you think and what you own. That's just the way how I look at things like that. I am not going to allow myself to get angry at something that I have no power of changing. Yes, my heart gonna always go out to my folks and all and everything, but don't allow the enemy to zap your energy at the end of the day. Don't let them take your energy. And Tarin been saying it for years that he feels nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my king, for that. I really do. Because that helped me. You helped me to get to where I'm at right there, to take my energy and redirect that and not take that out there and letting them zap that. See, they thrive off of our energy. So we need to stop battling against ourselves because a black man say something that might ruffle your feathers. Take the time to listen and absorb that. I just said this black man helped me to get to the point where I'm at right here. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Hey, thanks for coming up, Truro.
All right, you're welcome.
What's going on, Cosmo?
Hey, how you doing, man? Good morning, there. I mean, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I mean, all I could say to this to start off is basically this is going to be the epitome of throwing stones at hiding hands. You and I explain it in this sense that a lot of them are celebrating as if this is a surface level, like, oh, it's great. We got one off the street. And I'm saying to myself, like True Roy, you just said, telegraphing your moves is going to cost you. Now, if you speak in this emboldened, now you got to really watch how you move out in the street. Because if you're going to try to get in black people's face, try to mind their business because they can't help themselves. We saw the airport situation. Remember that, right? The dude, black man, had the boxing gloves around his neck.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? And he was like, "You want to take it?" Black dude was like, "Yeah, let's take it outside." And the wife had to jump in and said, "No." She knew it was going to happen. We saw what happened at the Steeler games years ago. The PC man had the high ground and he still got put on his ass. So now you're giving us reason to really keep our guard up around you because it gets to this point where they can't help but mind our business. They try to mind our politics. They try to mind our affairs. And if they can't get in, and they can't bastardize it. They try to verbally bastardize it as a chink in the armor to get in. This is what they do all the time. So this whole situation with Penny, like she said, I'm not shocked. I'm not disappointed. I'm just like, what is it that KG used to say all the time? The world is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that we got to feel this way about it, but that can't deter us from still moving in the direction we need to move in. Because some people will get out there and they get online, you get on X, and you start to meet, you start to interact with a whole bunch of these dub S, and you thinking that's life itself. They might be online saying that, but in your face, they're going to show you what they truly are. And a lot of them are pussy. Plain and simple. That's how it is. They can think that, and we got to understand. They can think that and say that behind their avatars and behind their profile accounts, but in public, a lot of them they ain't got the cojones to back it up. So let this situation teach a lot of other black people, like, yo, just you know what's coming, especially in why he better move. That's all I need to say, and I ain't saying that because I'm some threatening goon. It's common sense. He gotta get his ass out in NYC if he know what's good for him. But he's gonna be a recluse for the rest of his life, and as long as he's in America, and that's where I'm gonna land my plane at, man.
Appreciate you. Shout out to Cosima for coming up. Next up, we got.
That's where I'm gonna land my plane at, man.
My bad, Jake. I'm gonna bring you back down because you wasn't next. My bad. Next up, we got Hurricane Nisi. What's going on?
Good afternoon, Torian. Good afternoon, family in the chat. I want to basically reiterate what True Royal said, but this is my perspective. And I think True Royal may agree with me. I believe the Most High is allowing we, his chosen people, to see the destruction of our enemies. During your life and KG's and Afro's lives, I'm thinking to myself, PCWS don't realize their hatred for foundational Black Americans. Everything they're throwing out our way, it's going to come back on them tenfold. And the Most High is allowing us to watch it. Number 47, that Simple Simon motherfucker, he's basically telling the United States, I'm getting ready to fuck up everybody's world. It's coming. Let it come. And I land there.
Appreciate you coming up. Shout out to Miss Nisi. All right, next up is Jay on the road.
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on?
Oh, hello, beloved B1s. Stay strapped. This don't surprise me. It does get me angry, but not that angry. But these folks celebrate and they glamorize killers. They've been doing. One of the most famous people they celebrate was from the cowboy days, Jesse James, the most notorious back shooter ever. Shot a man in his sleep for snoring too loud.
That's crazy.
That's the weakest thing I ever heard of in my life from somebody with a gun. You gonna shoot a man because he's snoring too loud. You ain't gonna wake him up and tell him to turn to the side and there. You just gonna shoot him. Daniel Penny, okay, found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide.
Like, really put that into perspective.
He waited till the dude turned around and then he snuck a chokehold on him. It happened so fast that man didn't even see who had him in a chokehold before he died. Dude was dead within 2 minutes, but he held on for 5 minutes because he was so fucking scared. If he didn't kill his dude, he'd get up, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. Some pussy shit. I'm sorry for my language, man. That's just, So you mean to tell me if somebody is loud on the train, I'm in Houston, it's plenty of loud white people on the train in Houston, bro. Ain't no black person sat up there and snuck a chokehold on. Now, some people have been like, you need to get off the train, man. And then you gonna put me on the train, push his ass off the train, and then the train keep on moving.
Yeah,
that's all they had to do.
Because I have to do, like, when I'm on Metro, like here, like, depending on like what time of the day when I am on Metro, I will usually typically ride in the front because that's where it's like less noisy at. Now, once you get to like the middle part or definitely the back, then that's when it's like, okay. But the thing is, like you just said, if you on the train and you feel like it's a distraction to you or whatever the case may be, you got one or two options. One of the options you should come on the train with anyway, and that's a pair of headphones or some earbuds.
Right.
Preferably the noise canceling ones. The noise canceling ones work wonders. Or two, just get off that get off that train, Carl,
Right.
and go on to the next one.
Right.
Those are your two options right there. But as you can see with this situation here, let's just go ahead and take the person out.
These folks have a third option. That third option every time is to kill. Like True Roy said, these folks got a thirst for blood. They got a thirst for it. They just like killing. That's just in their DNA. It always have. I mean, these motherfuckers talking about clubbing a woman over her head with a club and dragging her off to do what they want to do. What type of bitch ass shit is that? I be telling folks, that was white people doing that. Black people ain't do that type of shit. We ain't do that. That was them. And it be all type of, man. I had a black homeboy. He got a Mexican wife, and he got two Mexican. He got 4 Mexican black kids. Now I stopped fooling with this dude around last year around Labor Day, cause he come over. I went to his crib to holler at him. He talking about, yeah, man, my son just called me. He said, man, damn, I'm glad you taught me not to get all worked up about the holidays and not caring, blah, 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 blah. And I just looked at him like, he teaching these Mexican kids not to give a fuck about black people? Huh. I'm like, damn, that's kind of weird. So I started saying, I said, well, what about this and that? And he's like, oh, man, nah, man, see, that's the problem, bro. It's just another nigga. I was like, another nigga, really? I said, so MLK, another nigga. Malcolm X, just another nigga. While walking down there, where you going? I said, man, I'm gonna go, bro, because for what you saying, Emmett Till, just another nigga. And we all know how most black people feel about Emmett Till. That's just a very, real touchy subject, sensitive as hell. And I just found it weird. Then next thing I know, Trump back in the White House, and the first thing he talking about is denaturalizing Latinos. Now that same dude I started fooling with, if he come ask me for help because they finna round up his family, I'm gonna get like you, bro. I feel slam a door in his fucking face. This is really too much. It's way too much. It's overwhelming. I tried to go to church last week and got a white dude up there talking about his nephew say he a nigga. I'm like, hey man, and when I look around, I see just women, kids, and elderly black men. But all the elderly black people looking at him like, you know, they was younger, they'd say something. So I said, hey man, why don't you show some respect and watch your mouth? Huh? What you do? And now it turned to, bitch, watch your motherfucking mouth. He was talking crazy, talking about, come on, let's go fight then. So I walk to the street, he flinched at me. I'm like, say, man, look here, dude. You really need to watch your fucking mouth, dog. You ain't swung yet. I said, man, I'm doing what I want to do, dog, because if I swing, dog, you don't want none of that. I ain't gonna call the police. I said, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. So I let it go. I talked to the security guard. I tell him what happened. I said, if I beat dude ass, would I go to jail? He said, I wouldn't call the police on it, but yeah, you gonna go to jail. I said, yeah, that's just what I thought. But that's about all I had to say, man. I'm gonna get out of here, let somebody else get on.
All right, appreciate you coming up.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to Jago the Road for coming up. Next up, we got Jonathan. What's going on?
What's up, Torian? So, yeah, I found out about the verdict last night, and I was just disturbed. Yeah, and I can't I say I'll be lying if I say if I feel safe in America at this point, because I don't feel safe. So
Hold up, Jonathan. You got a lot of background noise. I'm gonna meet you right quick.
Much better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so I can't say I'd be lying if I said I feel safe in America, because I'm not. Because like this is like probably about the 50th time we've seen a white person get off on murdering a black person. And it's like every time a justly murder happens to a black person, here they go trying to come up with these accusations about what he did, and now there will show no proof.
talking about we got arrested 42 times on this and that. It's like, why y'all bringing all this stuff up? Why y'all wait until a black person gets killed for y'all to bring this stuff up? And when I go to Google and all that, it don't really show none of what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? And it's,
it's not. This is not the first time that they've done something like this. They always do it because they have to get into people's mind that this person was not worthy of being saved. Or it's a lot of wind. It's a lot of background noise. I can barely hear myself.
Oh my God. No. All right, much better now?
Yeah, that's better. No, but what I was saying was they have to dirty up the image of that person in order to make the crowd or the public feel some type of way about them, even in death. That's why they kept pushing George Floyd had fentanyl in his system. That they kept pushing that because they have to make you believe that. Even though it's like, okay, so what? If he had fentanyl system, that's not what took him out. We know what did. All the stuff that they listed about Jordan Neely, that's not what took him out. It's what Daniel Penny did. So yeah, that's what they have to always do. That they usually have to typically do that. It's the court of public opinion is a wicked one. I'll put it like that.
Well, it's like we said, let the tables turn and let a black person choke on a white person that way.
It would be a different narrative, and that's why I said everybody needs to pay attention to the outcome of how this happened, even from even the optics of before the trial. Let it flip in reverse and see what happens. As a matter of fact, they slightly did it with the if you remember, shortly after what happened with Jordan Neely and Daniel Penny last year, it was in New York where you had the black guy with his girlfriend, where his girlfriend was being attacked by some random guy on the train, and the guy took him out. Here they come talking about, well, why didn't he get hit with all this, that, and the third and stuff like that? Because Daniel Penny got hit with this, and I was like, no, that was actually self-defense, but you wanted it to be this. And it goes back to what I said about black people not being able to defend themselves. So whenever black people defend themselves, they always have to come up with a caveat to say that they didn't do it or that it was unjustified. They do it every single time.
Sure, I remember when this mixed black dude was getting chased down and about to get run off the road by some white racist, red pickup truck, and that black dude pulled his power tool out, shooting up the truck to keep from getting run off the road, and he ended up accidentally killing one of the racists, which happens to be a white female, and he's getting charged for murder for defending himself. So yes, it's a real term for like how dare you as a black person defend yourself, taking out our own because you feel like they were gonna do something bad to you and all that. Like how dare you defend yourself because of a racist white person wants to see what you got going on. So they have the right to harass you. Like how dare. You know what I'm saying? It just never feels.
Even down to Stand Your Ground. Like, the first time I heard about Stand Your Ground, that was with Zimmerman. Not because I had never heard of that law. I don't live in Florida, so I never heard of it. But every time I see it's in a situation where Stand Your Ground should seemingly work for a black person, it never does. It's always some kind of a loophole there. But whenever it is I would say a non-black person, then they'll find a way to make Stand Your Ground work. I don't think I've come across a story where Stand Your Ground actually worked for one black person. It might be a situation where it has. I haven't come across it, and if I have, it's like literally like a needle in a haystack because it's a rarity. It's not a consistent thing.
I don't understand these coons that is supporting this. Like the Jeffrey Mead dude, I ain't even much know he plays football. I ain't never heard of him. I've watched Oklahoma football Sooners all my life, and I've never heard this guy. I ain't even much heard of Brendan Tatum when he was playing college football for Arizona. That's how irrelevant they was, and they out here fighting, and praising and being happy about Penny being acquitted from charges, saying she never went to trial. When if you was in that same situation and y'all feel like y'all had to do the same thing and all that, and y'all have to go to jail and need their support, they're not gonna support you the way how you support them. That's what these idiots don't understand. You're over here, selling us out to side with them, and you feel the need to perform the same thing that Daniel Penny did to Jordan Neely. And even if it was a black person that Tatum or me did that to, and they get charged for it, and because some of these dudes don't care if you side if you're cooning for them, they still see you as black at the end of the day, and they'll throw Tatum and Mead and these other coons behind bars if they commit a murder, and these white folks that they suck up for, they're not gonna be nowhere to be found, and especially if they will happen to kill a person that was white, they gonna turn on you. That's what they don't understand. So so to have this many people sell out, have this many sell out community, and do what they do and excuse this behavior from Daniel Penny and all that. If they was in the same situation with on Daniel Penny, but they actually get charged, I'm gonna say hallelujah. I'm not gonna show no something. I ain't gonna feel nothing. So I'm gonna say that's what y'all get for selling us out, betraying us for the other side. It's gonna come back to us once you put yourself in that dumb situation. And I'm about tired of this. So now I'm just that's the point I'm asking myself. How long are we gonna allow this until we decide to retaliate? Because like you said, if that man ain't charged, something's about to go down. And quite frankly, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it to go down. But for the rest of us, how long will it take until we realize it's time to fight back? We're not going to get the justice. Like about 2015, or we would have been knowing this. We should have known this by now. We should have did something about this when Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, but we didn't we didn't make him no example. We just let everybody just fall, and all we did was just cry and march. That stuff hasn't been working, to be honest. So it's just at this point we gotta find the options. And right now, the best option is to fight back. Because at this point, I gotta plan on give myself something to fight back in case I get experience that encounter. Because I don't want to be miserable because of my skin color. And I'm gonna just go ahead and let my plane right there because all this stuff deal with break my heart and frustrates me more. So I appreciate you letting me get on this. I've been wanting to speak for this since I heard about this last night.
No problem.
So be one, man.
Be one. And someone had left a comment in the chat. I think it was Bella. Yes, that woman, and I forgot about that. So thanks for bringing that up. That woman is like the only black person I can think of where Stand Your Ground worked in her favor, and it should have. And if you don't know what story she's talking about, it was the one about this. It was a white guy that was attacking this black woman's boyfriend. I mean, like really attacking this dude. And she went and she got her power tool and popped him right there. And they basically, I don't know if they charged her with anything or not, but either way, she wasn't thrown in jail. She didn't have to serve any time. That was probably one of the very few times where that actually did occur. But other than that, there was situations that happened before, and I'm sure there probably been some afterwards that it didn't work, or they tried to find, like I said, a loophole in there somewhere and say, oh, it didn't work because of this part. All right, we got one more person. Samuel, what's going on?
Hey, Torian, what's going on? B1, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, but Torian, I really wasn't surprised that the verdict and the outcome would have been like that. And I'm praying for his family and things like this. And it's just sad that this is we're in a point where now we're advocating for vigilantism instead of just better policing and things like that. you know, but this is what this country wants, is the direction to go into. And it's just sad. And it's just, you know, you can only just imagine how it's going to be for the next 4 years. But, you know, and I'm not surprised about Jeffrey Mead, Brandon Tatum, Charleston White celebrating about the fact that he got off, and then trying to condemn Jordan Neely for, you know, for whatever mental handicap that he had, this and that. But I always say this, Tori, and even you said it, these grifters, their time is pretty much going to come soon. It's going to come soon, because if roles were reversed.
So for some of them, their time is already come and gone. They're just like on a thin thread. They just don't realize that their time has come and gone. But I have a feeling that if they didn't got by November the 5th, I think their final date might be January 20th.
I will hope so, Torian. I will hope so, especially Charleston White, just for the simple fact that you've seen videos where Charleston White actually has provoked people and actually started fights and things like that, where it's going to come in a situation where they're going to be like, well, you did provoke this person and they stood their ground, things like that. So I never wish death on a person, Torian, or things like that. But somebody like Charleston White, I'm not going to feel anything when I see that post on Shade Room, wherever, things like that, and his like untimely demise is already met, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm starting to see like that same kind of energy and behavior is really starting to kind of like come out of people like the King Randalls and the Maj Torres. And I'm pretty sure, you know, you have, you know, your opinions about those two as well, because they just recently did a interview trying to criticize Fred Hampton's legacy and things like that. And they not only did it, Torian, they did it in Chicago, where Fred Hampton's son still, you know, lives and things like that.
Not surprised.
And I know, and I know how you feel about Maj Toure.
I really don't talk about him. I mean, I know of him, but I don't talk about him.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I mean, it's funny how this dude kind of advocates about, you know, black progression and things like that, but you constantly pander to people that have, to white people that have supremacist talking points. Like, make that make sense to me, Torian.
Like I said, everybody, it's all a grift. That's why I keep telling people, if y'all have not read that book, you need to. Then you completely understand how they operate. That's why I don't get up. That's why I don't be getting up in arms about it when they do grift, because I already know that their grift is only temporary. They think it's a lot of these. The thing about a lot of these grifters is they think that grifting is a full-time or a permanent position. No, you're on borrowed
It's
time.
not. It's not. Is what book is that again, Torian? That you said that about the black grifter. What is it called again?
It's called The Grift. Like, if you just go on Amazon and just type The Grift in there, the book should pop up. It's a longer title, but The Grift is the main part, the main title of the book.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna check it out. Honestly, Torian, I got to the point where the only like two people that I kind of really listen to is somebody else. I don't really want to name them, but it's just pretty much just you and Amazing Lucas that I just kind of gravitate to now, because the both of you are just basically like just straight middle down the line. Lucas used to be like very conservative, things like that, but then he said he woke the hell up and he's saying how they really are. Like, he says he literally remembers being around like Hotep Jesus, and all he would do is just talking about like the kind of money that he's making because his rap career didn't take off the way it should have or whatever. And then he was a trash rapper at that too, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. But I really appreciate everything that you do, Torian. Just keep putting out the truth and just always just keeping the people on, you know, on the alert and everything, you know. So I appreciate you, man.
No problem. All right, y'all. That's gonna bring this live to a close. Shout out to each and every person that came and spoke. Shout out to those who contributed. We will be back on here tomorrow. We got the 10 a.m. premiere video coming tomorrow, and also the live that I was going to do today is going to be tomorrow, but that's going to be at 6. So be on the lookout for that one. That one's going to be more lighter in tone. I definitely can't wait to hear what y'all got to say about that when we talk about it. But with that being said, everybody, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe and be one.